Good evening, everybody. Welcome to League of Extraordinary Inventors. I'm your host, Mike from Faraday Research. It is Free Energy Fridays. Welcome to the show. It is January 31st, 2025. Welcome, everybody. And we got our usual panel. We got Nathan, Philip, Ben, and Lulu. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing great.
Excellent.
Doing
Excellent.
good.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. It kind of ended on a sour note with me on Wednesday. I re-injured my left shoulder at work, so I spent Thursday morning in the hospital getting X-rays done, and now I got to go to my family doctor and probably get either an MRI or what do you call ultrasound on my shoulder to see if I did more damage to my shoulder. So I've been in pain and get muscle spasms in my arm and stuff like that. So it's kind of been messed up, but what can you do, right? Things happen, and you just kind of have to try to get better. Look at the bright side, right?
I hope you have a speedy recovery.
Absolutely. Yeah, these are one of those injuries because it's a ligament. I think I've torn a ligament in my shoulder. Well, I know 10 years ago I tore 3 in the front and 3 in the back. And now I'm obviously getting older like the old man here. Yeah. I was climbing up into the forklift and they have a handle. So I grab onto the handle to, lift myself in. And that's when it popped in my shoulder, right? So I knew something was wrong right after that, and by the afternoon, my hand was just like pulsating in pain.
Hey guys, Joe's in the chat.
Yeah, Joe, I sent him Gerald, I sent you a link, and I also sent Joe a link as well in his email. So if Joe's in the chat too, he can jump on with us. So where do you guys want to start today? Nathan, you want to start everything, or Philip, who wants to go first?
Well, sure. I'll start. Is that okay if I start? I have to leave in just a little bit.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. You got to leave for a little bit. Okay, cool.
So basically, all I'm working on is my little over Unity project with my Tesla coil, and it's going half and half. It's not very good yet. I got the motor to fire. Did not get a multiplier in there, so it sucks. So it's basically a very underwhelming under Unity project that really is a stinker right now. But I worked on my gravity flyer this week, and I'm having just trouble keeping resonance. It goes in, picks up the energy, goes out, total bust. So I don't know which part it is, and it may just be, bending metal and stuff, and I'm kind of getting frustrated with it. But as soon as I get it right, I should be good to go on that. And then with my Tesla coils, I'm working on a big video for that. Since I did the one-wire energy, and I also turned around and did the resonance to create plasma and secondary coils, I was just going to do a big video on Tesla, probably like a couple hours long or something like that, and just put all of it together and put his patents in there and stuff like that. So I think it'd be pretty interesting. That's basically what's going on with me.
You're muted, Mike.
Yeah, I was just saying sometimes projects take a little longer than normal, right?
Yeah.
So
you'll get it. You'll get it. Just take some tuning.
Hey,
hello. I'm back. Good to see you.
A long absence. You're late.
Well, I was. Yeah. Hey, a wizard is always on time. A wizard.
That was a good smoke. That was a good smoke.
Well, actually, I was setting up another stream as I'm just here for a little bit, and then I gotta pop out. I'll be doing another one with. Gerald, I emailed you a link, and all of you guys are invited when you're done here, but be with Jeremy as well as Mike from Space has some stuff to show. And it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure my audience will be down for overtime.
Yep, we'll see how I'm
Yeah.
doing. If my arm's gonna feel like it's gonna fall off, then I'll have to pop some pain medication for my shoulder.
Oh no.
A little bit of pain medication, a little bit of duct tape, you'd be all right.
Yeah, I think I got some. I think I have a couple of cider
Duct
beers
tape
sitting
for
in
the
the
way.
fridge
Yeah.
right now. Actually, that's sounding pretty good right now.
There you go. 3 or 4 ciders, you'd be all right.
Yeah,
Your voice might not sound the same, but you'd be all right.
I think I have some whiskey in my liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go. Problem solved.
Yeah, vodka, whiskey. I don't. I think I have some wine, but it's like really cheap wine, and it'll give me like a hangover.
oh,
Oh,
The
you
pizza
remind me,
purpose.
I got some leftover wine leftover. I'm gonna start.
oh, I love it.
Yes, we know, Philip. You love your drink. Yes, we know.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to go and like I was saying, I'm going to San Diego for the Super Bowl, and man, with my old friends, it's gonna be bad, man.
It's gonna be bad.
I'm going there for February 8th, so February 8th it's a Saturday,
Yeah, next Saturday
So-
you're leaving.
so we're gonna. Ooh, my tolerance is so low that I am afraid that I'll pass out easily, you know.
You'll be a cheap date.
Yeah, you'd be skinny dipping in the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trump-
we're gonna
Trump
catch
is-
you on the news.
Trump is gonna deport me back to Canada.
Crazy Frenchman gets deported by Trump.
Oh,
Man, I could see it now.
oh, that's great.
Hey, he has the technology to float his ass back.
I'm gonna teleport my ass out of here. Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
Hey Trump, don't mess with me. I'm gonna beam you out.
You have the ability with that technology.
Oh man.
Did you guys hear like they locked Trump's administration from the computer system to the Treasury Department? They don't allow him to access the money. The guy resigned, wouldn't give him the codes, wouldn't give them nothing.
He can't press the red button.
Yeah. I don't know. That was interesting. Like people are rather like resigning from their jobs than giving him the keys to things,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
So,
so the last week I've been working on my power cell technology, and man, I'm telling you, this is like going through a meat grinder with, the science is just blowing me away. So I got a few more experiments to work on. I did do, actually, I showed Nathan before we went on the prototype I was working on. It's pretty big. It's 20 cells in series. And yeah,
so you got more power now?
yeah, this one's putting out about 25 volts. Yeah. So right now there's an issue with these cells, and it's prominent throughout the entire battery technology industry. It's called SEI. It's an ion blocker. So what happens when the ions go from the anode to the cathode, it creates this barrier, a charged barrier, and what happens is the cell will lose maybe about 20%, 30% of its output power, and then you lose your current. So it like builds this film on the surface, but at a molecular level. And in the battery industry, everybody calls it SEI. So it's energy inhibitor is what they call it. So we're trying to come up with a way of preventing that SEI from actually forming. And if we could get through that barrier, then the cells are going to work a lot more efficiently and a lot more power. but we're talking like, special processes of coatings and stuff like that. It's just, yeah, it's crazy stuff getting involved with.
Yeah.
So,
So
but
let me know when you can get to 500 amps and stuff like that.
well,
Like
it's not a problem of getting the amps when you first fire up the cell, but the problem happens about maybe an hour later. That ion blocker forms on the cathode, the SCI
okay,
forms, and then the cell drops in potential.
okay,
And there are ways of doing it, protecting the surfaces from this happening, but it's not easy. It's a very high tech fabrication work. So, yeah, we're trying to figure out the best method of doing it, and that's where I'm kind of at right now. So it's a bit of a roadblock, but uh, as long as we stay on it, and we'll come up with a solution. I got a couple ideas to try out this weekend to see if I can stop that from happening, and if it
okay,
works, then
Coating of some sort?
yeah, well, yeah, it's you have to put a protective layer on the surface of the anode,
Mm.
and what it does is it protects from that ion blocker from forming. It's like a film, but a microscopic film. If you can stop that from happening, then the cell will always put out its maximum voltage and maximum current. Because like I can make a cell right now and it'll pump 30 amps, but I can't sustain it. It drops off after about an hour of it sitting there. So that's kind of the hurdle we're at. So,
but it defeats the purpose.
well, yeah, it does. Because it kills it takes about 30% of the voltage off when it started, and it also diminishes the current. And if it's bad
Yeah,
enough, it'll diminish the current so bad the cell is basically useless,
okay,
So
right?
what you have in mind that you would what kind of
That I can't discuss.
oh,
That's part of my NDA stuff. I can't talk about. I could talk about the actual problem, but the actual solution for it, I can't talk about,
okay,
unfortunately. But just kind of the hurdles. Like if you read like any kind of scientific note that comes out on battery technology, I'm reading it pretty much every day. There's something new coming out. I'm reading it because I have to stay on top of this stuff, all the innovation that's happening, right? Because sometimes those innovations can give me clues on what I need to do to make my cell work better. So,
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you gotta keep up to everything that um,
see, it makes
Sleepy Phil.
yeah, like what makes it really hard is the fact this is happening at the nano scale. So it's not something visual I can see. I can see the
Right.
result of what's going on, but I can't actually see at the nano scale what's going on.
You have to
Okay,
infer from
And
context.
so,
Hmm.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, you have to figure out what is actually happening. What
You're a
it's,
detective. Yeah, you're a detective.
yeah, yeah,
problem solving.
yes. So this is the major hurdle right now.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. Ah, but you have a solution, but you cannot talk about it.
yeah, because
Okay.
it's my NDA on it, right? So
Hmm.
that's still active. But I could talk about the hurdles that we're trying to overcome and stuff like that. But what the actual solutions are, I can't really discuss that, which sucks. But
Yeah,
that's just the
so you're
reality.
not blocked.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
No, that's cool.
So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I made a big prototype. It's quite large. I have a 200 or 300-watt inverter hooked up to a couple of lithium iron phosphate batteries with a solar charge controller. So what I'm doing, I'm taking the cells and where you would put the solar panel into, that's where my cells go into. And then the charge controller now takes that power and charges up the two lithium iron phosphate batteries. And those lithium iron phosphate batteries is what runs the inverter. So the idea of the cells is the cells keep those two batteries charged to keep the inverter running so you can power stuff. So that's
Nice.
kind of like the format we're working on. Eventually, we want to get up to a point where we can run a refrigerator sustained.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So if we can achieve that, like now too, we're also in the process of trying to get a grant. So we don't know how long that's going to take. It could, like, it's getting fast tracked right now because we have a guy working for us that specializes on getting grants. So it all depends. We could get it 2 months down the road. It could be 6 months from now. We don't know. It's just the getting the grant process going. That takes time. So we'll see.
It's funny. It's funny. Just for the in Quebec, there's an institution called Investissement Quebec, like investor, like Quebec Investment, and they give loans and things like that. But you have to give all your taxes for the last 3 years.
Yeah, see,
And
that's the thing. And we don't want to go the loan route. That's one thing
Yeah.
that me and my partner discussed. We don't want to do the loan group way. We want to get a grant from the government as
Yeah.
research and development into battery cell, power cell technology. And, we, my buddy is not in the position of putting himself on the hook or putting his house as collateral. You know what I mean? Like he just doesn't want to do that. It's
just
too
like I'm
risky.
doing.
Yeah, it's too risky. It's like we don't want a loan. That's not what
Yeah.
we're looking for. So
Yeah, of course. But at least the loans or the interest rate are not that high. That's a good thing. The loans from the government or the interest rate are not that high.
like say we were in the position we have the technology, it works, it's done, we got working prototypes, and then say we need a loan to get it to production. Okay, that's different because now we're getting it out into industry.
Yeah,
So we know we're going to be able to pay back that loan, right? So
yeah, exactly.
The research part is the hard part to,
Yeah.
you're going to need money. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why
Exactly.
that's why it pisses me off when you do all the research and things like that, and then you come up with a product, and then countries like China or Russia, they just copy what you did, because they
Well,
know it
he's got
works.
the
And then,
research and development mostly over, so that's the hard part, mostly.
yeah, exactly. When you did
You
all
gotta
the hard
practice
work
that.
and all the money, then they
see,
just
like
Yeah.
like the big thing too is not only getting the technology made, then you're going to need the technology to actually make the stuff, or like an assembly line and fabrication and all that stuff.
yeah,
That costs big bucks. That's a huge
yeah,
investment.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have that money lined up so you could actually have a physical, say, like a factory
Manufacturing.
setting to actually manufacture. And that's mucho dollars.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah. But I mean, with an actual practical device like in your hand that is gonna be successful, I think you could be optimistic that you can obtain some kind of funding, hopefully.
But
Yeah.
one thing I can suggest you is because there are some institutions, they give loans and grants and things like that, but or like CNRC, the NRC, the National Research Center of Canada, they can support you, but you need to be a TRL4, and they'll pay like 50% of your expenses and things like that, which is not bad. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But what is it I want to say? I forgot. Geez, I forgot what I want to say. I need to drink.
You know what? I think I'm going to join you. Just
Oh my God.
1 second.
Oh, we're going downhill fast tonight.
All right, there you
Well, what goes down has to go up. And to Gerald's comments, In the live chat, Gerald, the world is ready. We need it. 2025 is the year for disclosure.
Saddle up, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
No, it will be.
Okay, so I've got this here. I'm going to try this out.
Nice. Mango and wheat, they go together?
Mango, wheat, something. Yeah. Well,
Oh.
I'm gonna, bottoms
Cheers.
Yeah.
Salute,
Cheers.
brother.
Much love, everyone, and good to see you. I'm sorry I gotta hop out, but I posted the link in the private chat if guys are still up for joining afterwards. If
Yep.
not, we'll see you
Yeah,
next
just
week.
send the invite links out, Barney, and if everybody's still up and wants to join, we'll pop in.
Yeah,
Thanks,
sounds
Bernie.
good. Yeah, thanks, Bernie.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, thanks
No
for
problem, and thank you. And yeah, just post it again in the private chat for everyone.
All right, cool.
All good.
Thanks,
Love you.
Bernie. Take care. So, all right. Yeah. Just yeah, it's like a beer. This one's it's got a little bit of bitterness to it.
Is it a Canadian drink or
It's
like?
mango wheat. It's like a cider beer brewed in North America. They call it Belgian Moon. Yeah, it's not bad.
Because you're moonshining afterwards?
Yeah. Well, if anything, if it makes my shoulder feel better, I'm all for
Oh,
Mike, stay after. No, I want to tell you something about your shoulder, but I don't want to discuss medical.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah.
She's
So
gonna do a judo, arm lock on you.
Like, remember that thing, the biomedical engineer that we met in Austin? She sent me on LinkedIn, and her research to fix torn ligaments and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and she
Wow.
needed people, and so
Yeah.
you're saying this, I might I'll give you her contact, maybe, But anyway,
yeah, I have to go see my family doctor next week, and he has to either send me for an MRI or send me for an ultrasound. But I know I tore 6 ligaments in the shoulder 10 years ago, so I think I just aggravated it or re-injured it, so to speak. So I have to see what's going on first on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the way it goes. When you do a heavy labor job like I do, like if you see what I do every day, you'd be like, holy crap. Like, it's very physical work I do.
you guys don't have the little forklifts and things to pick up these.
Oh yeah, we do. But yeah, if you have to, like, we have like a suction lift. So if I got a plate of steel, the suction lift lifts it off the ground. But that could be 1,000-pound piece of steel. So I have to maneuver that by hand into the machine, lower it properly without dropping it. And, that takes a lot of upper body strength to move 1,000-pound piece of steel, right?
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, it's not easy. So, and then you got to get up and down in the forklift. And yeah, it's a very physical job. I do. A lot of people are in bad shape after they finish that career physically. Backs are gone, shoulders are gone, hips are gone.
Oh, trust me, I understand.
Yeah, I remember when I was working for General Dynamics, it was very there was a lot of people like you doing manual stuff all the time. Me, I was more on computer, but there were
yeah, like my water jet now, like it's all PC, right? So I'm on the computer quite a bit too. It's a very diverse thing I do. I'm physical, I'm moving stuff, I'm programming stuff on the computer, controlling the water jet. Oh my God, Gerald!
Gerald! Gerald! Yeah! It's
Do
about
not
time,
poke the
man.
bear.
Oh my cow!
Like that? This one says on it, I've got I got one nerve left, and you're on it.
That's adorable.
Ah!
My robot actually works, but I got to get batteries. So
Oh, maybe Mike can give you his batteries.
Yeah.
there you go. I've been working
I
on
missed
that.
you, Gerald.
Oh, what we were saying, Joe?
Hello, Ben. No, I've been working on what you and I discussed, and I've been getting some cool results. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, we could talk offline about that.
definitely, that's awesome.
Did you see the crystal cell that I did?
Yes, I did with the graphite box.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, it
Awesome.
works really well. It works really well. Graphite ingot is a very good material to work with.
I used
Yeah, that's
graphite rods.
Yeah, they
I've been
work good
playing
too.
with- Yeah, I've been playing with that lately, turning it into like a battery.
Mhm.
And I use magnesium bits, and I
Yeah.
turn that into a crystal cell. 1 sec.
He's in, he's out. He's in,
Yeah.
he's out. It's like the Twilight Zone, eh?
Yeah. He's like
That
a
was the
wizard.
best show ever, the Twilight Zone.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used
yeah,
to
it was
watch
good.
that. They used to
Yeah.
have that on TV back in the late 70s and early 80s.
Yeah.
I used to come home from school, and me and my brother would be watching the Twilight Zone after school. They have some of the best shows. I'm telling you, it was great.
I never understood the story, but it was cool all the time. Just
Yeah. Well, I was
They
able to
did-
understand the storylines. They were a little confusing at times because it was like strange stuff, right?
yeah.
Yeah. They had some good
Yeah.
time.
They don't do shows like that anymore. That's what
No.
pisses me off. They don't feed the shows these days. It's not feeding your imagination.
I know. You're just like when
I
you
know,
watch
it's like-
shows now, right?
Yeah, it's like the reality TV shit. That's stupid.
Everything's cookie cutter because it's corporate friendly and it's safe, and they know, that's where there's thousands of reboots and remakes. They're not, straying too far from the profit.
Yeah.
The other good show I used to watch too, though, the original Lost in Space. That was awesome. Like, what a great show that was.
Yeah.
One from the I guess it was made in the 50s. Lost in Space.
I don't remember the original. I wasn't old enough to remember that, but
Yeah,
they did
they-
make a remake. The first season
They-
was good, but then it sucked.
Yeah, they played the original back at the same time period, late 70s, early 80s. So
Yeah, that was a little bit before my time, but I do remember seeing clips of it on TV.
it was a great show. I watched it all the time. They used to have the Monster Network. I used to watch all the old Godzilla movies and stuff.
Oh
They used to-
yeah,
Oh, I love those. They're great. Even though they look so phony, I still like watching the old Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
You
Can
watched,
I?
Little House on the Prairie
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched that too. Yeah.
and Bonanza.
Bonanza I never got into. What was the other one? Green Acres.
I never watched that.
Oh
No.
yeah.
Green Acres and Ham.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's wrong.
No.
I watched Little House on the Prairie. That one I watched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
What
awesome.
was the other one Michael Landon was in? He was an angel. It was called
Heaven,
oh,
something heaven.
Heaven something. Yeah.
Daniel Boone. You
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that?
Hey, Jeremiah Johnson with the beard. You guys ever watch that?
Yeah.
Oh, you remember that old show? Maybe Nathan might remember it. Hogan's Heroes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
I remember that.
Yeah, that was
Gilligan's
Yeah.
Island. Now we're going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Watch that one a lot.
I used to watch that one. Yeah.
Yeah, Gilligan's Island. Yeah, there were some great shows back then. You don't see those shows like that anymore. They just
Knight Rider. You ever watch that one?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Knight
Knight
Rider,
Rider,
18.
I have to at least reference the catchy. We don't have catchy like theme songs like back then either. Like Gilligan's Island is still a classic. I still hum that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Highway to Erie, you know where it's
Highway
from.
to Heaven. Michael Landon.
Great. Do you guys know?
Chips. Remember that show with the two motorcycle cops? Chips.
Yep, Chips.
Oh yeah,
Chips,
Watson John.
Mhm.
Miami Vice.
Miami Vice.
Oh yeah, how could you forget that?
Yeah,
White
Don
suit
Johnson.
with a pink shirt at all times, right?
Don Johnson. Yeah.
That guy was hilarious.
Oh man.
He always had all these women dripping off of him. Just nuts. Yeah, there was lots of good TV shows back then. Now it's all
Yeah, I always wonder how can the cops have a Ferrari? You know, I didn't get it. It's like, well,
Yeah.
is that only in Miami? Or?
don't get
I
me
think all the
started.
good TV shows ended about 1990. Maybe a
Yeah.
little bit earlier.
Oh yeah, what's the name of the guy again? It's there was a MacGyver.
MacGyver, yeah, that was a good.
Yeah,
One.
that was a good show.
Stargate was really good. It was in the 90s.
Oh,
He was-
another show I really liked too was $6 Million Man.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, Bionic with that sound.
in real slow motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
It was
awesome.
Throw that ball.
All
The Bionic Eye.
the one
Yeah.
that was called 21 Jump Street. It was like some
Mm.
21 Jump
I
Street.
remember
that.
that's out.
I watched the Fall Guy.
The Fall Guy. Yep.
I have the Fall Guy sitting in a box over there, the whole series.
Nice.
Yeah. That's funny. Or Cheers.
Cheers is good.
Remember that one?
That was
Ted
content
Danson.
where people were making fun of each other for fun. And they would
Yeah.
laugh at themselves. And it was
Yeah.
a good time. Not like
Yeah.
the crap they have today, right? You're canceled. You said the wrong word.
Yeah.
I
Come
know.
on.
Yeah.
You know?
Always
It was
say the
more
wrong
civil.
word.
Yeah.
You know what that
That's
says
all
to
right.
me? If you got to cancel somebody, pardon the expression, Mike, because I know your channels, you know, you're trying to go all legit, but if you're trying to cancel people, I think you're a pussy. Sorry.
Well, I see that all the time on other channels. Like, I have people who don't support, my ideology coming in, and I ban them. I seen, somebody saying that I ban these people. And I'm like, well, don't ban them, engage with them. They're, part of society too. You can't just shut out all the voices that don't agree with you. You have to engage with
don't
them and
support me,
figure out
you don't
why.
like me? That's awesome. Tell me when I'm doing wrong. I'll be able to work on myself. Till then, you're just a fart in the wind. You know what I mean?
And you know
Yeah,
what we're talking about right now also is in the stuff that we're working on, energy devices and stuff like that. Because there's going to be people out there that are going to be naysayers and
Sure.
they're going to, get a little nasty sometime, like Jack Servati.
Oh, schmuck man.
I get the Gerald treatment. But I can comment.
Why is he not coming to your show, Jack Sarfati? Is he afraid of or anything?
Oh
Is he
no,
afraid
you
of-
don't. No, you don't have papers.
Oh, I don't have papers.
You have to have papers. You're like
Oh,
he lives
dude.
by World War II.
I got an NDA.
Right?
You didn't know that? I got
Wow.
it's tattooed on my ass. So
Yeah,
if they want to see it.
I get that, right?
You almost made me spit my beer out, man.
But that doesn't matter to Jack, right? You got to have a PhD tattooed to your ass.
Oh,
You know what I
the other
mean?
side. The
Yeah,
other
oh,
side,
there you
buddy.
go. Mine's just the bachelor's. So hey,
It's a
Mine's
full
in my
moon
black
tonight,
hole.
ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, this
Mine's in the
talk,
black hole, and that's in the backside.
yeah, dark side of the moon. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of Pink Floyd in there,
Oh, no.
and there's 3 holes. It's Canadian, okay? Yeah, big bad Jack, eh? He's a funny guy. You know what's good? Good though, the scientific community's finally starting to pull their head out of their ass and talk about free energy.
Yeah.
That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what
I think they're getting forced to. I don't think they want to on purpose, Gerald.
Well, then there's the whole ball lightning thing. You know what I mean?
I can't wait for that. That'd be awesome. Guys, I gotta take my son-in-law to work. You gonna be here in like 20 minutes, Gerald?
Maybe. I don't know. I got my house is crazy tonight, so I don't know how long I can stay, but I'll try. Plus, I told Bernie I'd pop in. I don't know if I'll be able to, but we'll see. Like I said, my house is crazy right now. I just
All
got
right,
back my camera working and stuff, so it's like I wanted to pop in here, pop in there. I might pop into your show in the morning and, you know, what do they call that? Crash it!
Stir the pot.
That's right. Piss in the pool, you know? Got to get things going.
Throw the Hershey bar in the deep end.
Oh, that was the best. Right?
Baby Ruth.
Remember that was in
Make sure I have
Caddyshack.
extra nuts.
You guys remember that? The
Caddyshack?
Caddyshack? What was it? Was
I'll
it
be back, guys.
Caddyshack, where he threw
Later,
the
Nathan.
O. Henry bar into the friggin' swimming pool.
That's what, or a butternut. It was a butternut
Yeah.
bar, which is
Butternut
essentially
bar.
right? That's crazy, but yeah.
Drains the whole pool out, picks it up, and starts eating it. And goes, "Oh,
What?
it's got
It's
peanuts."
nutsy. What? It's crazy. So
yeah.
Phil,
But I think go back to what you were saying, Gerald. Yeah, I think the cat's out of the bag now, and people are really saying, yeah, this stuff is possible. It's just that, you know, if they've hidden this UFO thing from us for so long, what else have they friggin' held from us, right?
dude,
Exactly.
I have gotten so many breakthroughs since I've stopped on YouTube. Like, I had to take a break and I had to do some work because the whole job thing and all that stuff. But I've been working behind the scenes like a madman. And I've got, like that box you've seen, wait until you see the next stage of it. It's got a borosilicate glass tube that sits in the center of it. There's a coil on one end and a coil on the other. There's a laser inverted through the top and a laser inverted through the bottom. I'm going to show you guys ball lightning. There's also a pond fogger inside the whole box itself. I've got sound meters. I've got Geiger counter. I've got infrared camera. I've got vibration sensors, temperature sensors. I'm decked out for this. I'm ready to show the world what ball lightning does in a ball.
Nice.
So hopefully it works out, but you know. What's that?
Blowing my mind, Gerald. You're absolutely blowing my mind.
Well, everybody's been talking about ball lightning. Everybody's theorized about it. Poor Bob Grenier doing all that awesome work. He talks about an ultrasonic cleaner to create ball lightning. I'm sorry. You're not controlling shit with that. You may put a piece of shit in it and it'll break down. But you
I
ain't
don't really know
controlling
where
it.
he's going with his science. His practical applications of the science that he's been working on seem to be overly complicated.
Well, that's the way they make it because they don't want you to be able to do it. How else can they patent it and make money, right? You know what I mean? And I'll tell you, it's so much easier than you guys think. It'll blow your freaking mind when I show you. Like, blow your mind.
I'm not interested in making money. I just want to share it with the world when I find it. That's all.
Well, there are certain
I was
aspects that... Go ahead.
I was making the ball lightning inside my vacuum tubes there, my Spark Gap vacuum tubes.
Yeah.
I was doing that a couple of years ago.
Yeah. But I'm talking something different. I'm talking creating ball lightning so it's visual. It sits there. You control it. You can move it up, move it down, sideways.
That's
cool. Literally put elements into it. The elements will disappear and sort of turn into something else. We'll say.
What are you going to actually do with it? Does it have a function?
You could say that. Have you ever watched Iron Grow?
So transmutation.
Over unity times 100 to 1,000. Well, I'll tell you. I'll put it to you this way. According to Ohm's law, what I just built, this coil that I did all the math on, I was pulling 400 amps through it like it was nothing.
Really? Yeah.
And
totally possible.
What do you do with that power? Well, you have to either use it or dump it, right? And when you dump it, you can change it and continuously dump it into other containers while using it because it's not regular energy. It's the energy between energy, right? The ether. It's not scalar. Scalar's a little different. At 0 point, that's a little different than ether and scalar, although 0 point is contained within the ether.
Yeah.
and scalar can be created by 0 point, but they're three different things.
Yeah.
But they're all kind of enveloped within.
They
each
have
other.
their own unique attribute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ambient the ambient gravito-electric and gravito the ambient gravity the sorry the electric the linear charge density and the linear mass density are two forms of energy that we kind of live in, you know.
That's the problem, though. You're talking about linear charge density. This is non-linear charge density. It makes a huge difference. I use gravitational waves in order to contain cross beam light, like two lasers that are crossing each other, and they form a sphere of a ball of light, and that energy is inputted to it from the gravitational waves, kind of like taking a big spark gap and putting the spark gap into the ball of
Right.
light, and it turns into a ball of energy.
Gerald, what type of lasers are you using?
I got a 5-watt blue laser and I got a 3-watt red laser.
So they have to be two different colors, right?
See, that's
Mm.
two different colors make the hugest difference because it's red and blue, right? We're talking red and blue shift,
Right.
which has to coincide with the gravitational waves that are created inside the coils themselves.
How about green? What would green do, or a green laser?
You're definitely an
yellow.
intuitive person, okay? You wouldn't want to use a green laser, but green is created inside. How should I say that? Not inside. Green is created by the refraction of color between red and blue shift
Right.
when the pond fog gets within the tube.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Fog itself is what turns green. It's actually cool, but scary.
Green lasers are pretty dangerous, I think. I heard.
I don't know. I've never used them.
They use green lasers for in medical. There's a machine called TM, and they beam this green laser to the prefrontal cortex of your head, and it's supposed to alleviate any symptoms of fatigue or tiredness or depression, or it helps.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like a lobotomy, is it?
No, it's transcranial magnetic. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I do.
That's what they use green lasers for. So
interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So they can change your mood.
Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
So can gravitational waves.
Yeah. Well, I was actually thinking of buying the machine and starting small business with it, because here in Texas you don't have to be a medical professional. Like, you don't have to have degrees in medicine or anything like that to own it.
Nice.
Okay.
And I'm doing the research on finding an ICD-9 code for it and see if the insurance companies will cover it. Because
sorry.
Go ahead.
I got a ton of papers for you on PEMF, healing, and HEMF, I think it's called. Has to do with like ultrasound and then electromagnetic as well. Pulse electromagnetic.
Gerald, when you're bombarding the two lasers together, do you have a plate or a filament that it's hitting?
I do and I don't. I can do either or. Yeah. When I don't, what I use is a filament. Okay.
Yeah.
So I use nichrome that's been like cross weaved, and then I've been putting different materials on this cross weave pattern nichrome.
Yeah,
and
like
hitting that with the laser.
And you suspend it in the middle, and the light hits it.
Yeah. So
you're doing stuff that what Taylor Farnsworth Sr. was doing back in the early 1900s. Nice. He was making cathode ray tubes that were just completely wild. He was trying to sustain basically a glowing plasma in free space without anything actually physically holding it. So it's like fusion containment.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's pretty cool.
That's
So,
exactly
it's like a power ball, you can throw at somebody.
exactly. And because I have bifilar coil systems, each coil on either end is bifilar, okay? So as I pulse my gravitational waves towards the ball lightning, I'm getting back refraction from it, or reflection, whatever you want to call it, into the same coil in its opposite back EMF
Right.
on
Yeah,
either
I see what
side.
you do.
So when I pulse my primary on this side and my secondary on this side, and it reverberates and comes back, I'm getting it on the secondary on my first side, and I'm getting it on the primary on my second side. That makes sense?
Yeah, I see. You're doing some sort of like fusion containment.
Yep.
That's awesome. Can you like have a energy density high, like a high energy density?
I'll put it to you this way. The first time I set it up, I melted a coil. And I mean, I melted it. I've got it on video. I still have the coil. I'm going to show it. It's insane. It started to smoke, and the box filled with smoke instantly. And I was like, no. And I'm pulling wires and shutting stuff down. And it didn't matter when I pulled the coil out. All the zap straps that I used to pull it together were all busted, and the copper itself was compressed to each other, and you couldn't pull it apart. Literally melted. It was
Nice.
crazy. That's a lot of power, man.
That's
And
Yeah,
then-
you can get a runaway in that, eh?
yeah, I know.
And it can actually permeate the case that you're putting it in. Now,
I've got the
Farnsworth-
case. Go ahead.
Like I know Farnsworth, when he was working on it, from
Yeah.
time to time he would get a breach. He would actually get a runaway.
Well, I keep it small, and the case is double grounded. It's a double walled insulated on the inside and on the outside. Like
Yeah.
it has double walled aluminum.
Right.
So it could, but I've taken that into consideration.
Oh, the other question I have for you: are you getting any kind of interesting film forming on the glass? You know what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Mike.
Yeah, I'll put it in the private chat.
Yeah, I kind of know what you're talking about. We'll
I
just
put
say
it in the
that.
private chat.
Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. All right.
And that in itself is scary, because if it's for real,
It is. It is for real.
then that changes everything.
Yeah, it's transmutating stuff.
And if you think about that, if I could do it, what are these assholes with pardon the language, with millions of dollars and kids that are into science, what do they got? What do they know?
Yeah, exactly. So an element you could use as a like where you can focus the lasers on, try using tungsten.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I actually might have that in my list of tests.
Oh,
What I want to try, but I'm nervous about doing, I won't do it at my house. I have to wait until I go out to the country. I'm going to use mercury.
Yeah, the other one too is when you're doing with tungsten, have some lead shielding around your device. There might be some X-rays coming off.
Okay.
So be careful with that one, please.
Well, why don't you use gallium or gallium stand instead of mercury?
I thought about that, using gallium. There's actually a paper I just read recently on gallium that it creates gravitational pulses when you hit it. I believe it was with a laser, or it might have been a spark gap laser, like a T laser. I got to go over the paper again. I've read a few in the last few days. Might be getting that mixed up.
I think
But,
it was spark gap.
It might have been a spark gap like a T laser, and you hit it and it creates a gravitational wave. But what I wonder is if it creates a gravitational wave, what would it do if you hit it with a gravitational wave? I don't know. It's just thought, right?
Either it cancels out, or
Maybe.
it just holds it in space, and
Could create a standing wave if you do it right, maybe.
That's kind of what I was wondering. I wonder if it would create a standing wave, kind of like a reverberation and ring
Like an
down
echo.
sort of thing.
Like an echo kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know though.
If you get the right frequency, you can get the right resonance.
Yep. Actually, it's funny geometry. So let's say you were to take a bifilar coil made in certain geometry, and you were to split that bifilar, and you had your left side 10 feet away from your right side, and then you had that exact same coil built as a bifilar in the middle, and you were to run the frequency, the two that are on the outside will pick up the power from that single one, just like a Tesla coil, but it's geometry connected, not radio frequency. It's really strange. I still can't wrap my head around it.
Cool. Oh, by the way, did you guys see the show last week? The Mike Faraday show. That was pretty cool. What I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
I can resume, and maybe you can integrate it in one of your experiments one time, or I've got some experiment suggestions, but maybe you can come up with a better one.
You know what?
A team up, nice.
Go ahead.
Love those.
It's about going faster than the speed of light.
Yeah. What do you want to know?
Sorry.
What do you want to know?
No, but you can create. You can. It's about the speed of light is not an ultimate limit.
There isn't. Not at all.
It's easy to go faster than the speed of light.
Yeah,
absolutely. In theory, it's easy, but I mean, we need the equipment. But I mean, it's very easy.
Okay.
It's not like...
So let me suggest to you this. I'll give you a mechanism. Let's say you change the refractive index that's around you. So what does that mean? Let's say you were to ionize the air around you through gravitational waves from your pulsing coil. Okay, so it's continuously producing these waves. Attach the coil to yourself. Let's say it's on a belt, okay, and it's producing these waves. You put the belt on. Go run down the block and time yourself and watch the difference between having that belt on, not having that belt on, and it'll scare the shit out of you.
You're saying put have a stopwatch on your person and then use another stopwatch maybe outside.
Have somebody else time it. When you're producing gravitational waves from a system and you move the system while it's producing it, you're stepping out of your time. You're stepping out of the bounds that you created, and you're moving through it.
That's relatively easy to do. 2 stopwatches.
Just a thought, right? Just
like a time shift.
Yeah.
Kind of like a time shift. Yeah.
Since you're there, Gerald, and you're pretty smart, can I resume what I was talking about last week? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm pretty sure I have some time.
Yeah, because you said
you want to throw that picture up, Philip?
Sorry?
You want to throw that picture up that you had up last week?
Yeah, the little intro. Just 1 sec. Full screen. Oh, shit. Sorry, my computer froze for a second.
No, do your thing. Mike. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Get some funky music going on there.
Yeah, there's a little intro I want to share. Um, so last week I was talking about the annihilation process. You know what it is, Gerald? It's just an electron and a positron that
Yep.
collide together that creates a photon.
Yep.
So
You asking
so
how it would be done, or
no, I'm just I'm just last week I was asking. So the electron has it has a mass, but it has electric energy as well. The positron has a mass and has electric energy as well, and it creates a photon. The photon has no electric energy. Where is the energy going? What happens to the energy of the electric energy?
it gets used up in the creation of the photon itself. Kind of
Yeah,
like, kind of like a burst into creation, so to speak, right? They
yeah,
We would consider it them annihilating each other, but they're not. They're hitting each other and sort of creating the photon.
It's a hybrid
yeah,
effect. It's a hybrid
Yeah.
effect. Kind of like to make electricity, you have to have dielectricity and magnetism. Without those two, you can't get electricity. What we know as electricity, it's a hybrid reaction of those two, magnetism and dielectricity.
Yep.
That's so. That's kind of the same thing with the photon, right? You got those two things. When they collide, they disappear, but the photon is now created. The
Exactly.
reaction is created.
The two to make
Yeah.
the one, so to speak.
Right.
yeah. So actually, what happens is, well, I mean, my theory, I'm pretty sure it's fine, but because I made calculation this week to confirm it, and the electron, the mass of the electron and the positron will give the frequency of the photon will end up. So if you have, it will give gamma rays basically. So you have a high frequency photon of gamma rays frequency, and so that's the mass. The mass is converted into the frequency, but there's still the electric field energy. What happens to that? Actually, what I'm saying is that's the part that is being converted into kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is the speed factor of the photon, which is c.
What propels
So
it?
so the charge of the electron and the positron will determine the speed of the photon.
Right.
Oh, so what you're saying is when they combine to create the photon, there's also an inertia that's created at the same time.
Yeah, the energy of the electric field is converted into kinetic energy, which is the speed.
Right. That makes sense.
That makes sense considering what I see in my coils.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
So if you assume that,
Is that worth a Nobel Prize, Phil?
yeah, I mean, I'm saying I'm trying to
If
slug
it is, you
around,
should
so-
come aboard. I'll prove it for you. You get the Nobel Prize. I need $100.
Yeah, I'll give it, man. I give it to you. I don't mind even half of it. I don't
Oh,
care.
there you go. Let's go. Let's get her done. There's
Yeah,
about 9 Nobel Peace Prizes in this work. I'm telling you, maybe more.
yeah.
Mike's
So,
got one coming.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so to prove it, so if you change the charge of the electron and the positron, then you will get a different speed, right? So if you increase the charge or decrease it, then it's going to
Right.
be either the
So-
photon will go faster or slower.
Right. Exactly. So that proves that
Yeah.
Einstein is wrong.
Yeah.
Einstein is wrong. He says the
I
speed
know
of
he's
light-
wrong.
because he says this is what Einstein claims, that the speed of light is 186,960 miles per second. It's not. It's an arbitrary constant because it has to do with the electric field and the positron field. When they create the photon, those potentials are never always the same.
You're absolutely
Therefore-
right.
Therefore, the photon, its travel through space is also varied. So for Einstein to say that the speed of light is X, it is not. It is an arbitrary constant. Thank you very much.
But you can never say that though. Like you can never tell. Like you can never say it to anybody in the States because Einstein's a god and he can never do anything wrong. And if you piss on his calculation, oh my gosh, you're the devil yourself.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I've
Like
seen-
it's insane.
Well, you know what?
I know.
I've seen a few physicists actually come out and admit now that the speed of light is not exactly the same all the time. And
It absolutely isn't.
it isn't. It varies. They use it as an arbitrary constant, like a reference point to go from. So they've always stuck with it.
So was Einstein a patsy, or did he know what he was doing when he brought out that calculation? Do you know what I mean by that?
I think he was. I think a lot of his work was very incomplete. It was half-ass.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah.
He was contradicting himself. He says that photon has no mass, but yet energy equals mc square. So
Exactly.
you
So
know,
there's contradiction right there.
yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, there you go. And here's the evidence. I have an article here. So if you have quarks are they have color charge. So color charge is just a fraction of a charge. So that's a fancy term here.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it's a fraction of a charge. So it has a smaller, weaker charges, but the quarks they can annihilate as well, just like electrons. And when they annihilate, it creates the weak boson. And right here, the highlighted text here, it says, the weak boson feels a drag causing them to slow down from the speed of light. In order to travel slower than the speed of light, they must have mass. So they just induce a whole bunch of crap. You know, they say since it's going slower than light, the speed of light, it must have mass. So
you know why I think this calculation is being so pushed so hard and absolutely they fight against like no tomorrow? Because Einstein was involved in the Rainbow Project, right? If what we hear is true and the ship actually disappeared and people phased into the ship, that very experiment shows that you could go beyond the speed of light. So I kind of wonder if Einstein's E equals mc squared was nothing more than a farce to make scientists look in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Because they would find
a diversion.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why Einstein's so fought against, like he's some kind of god or something. He's a freaking potato farmer. You know what I mean? Come on. Of course, I'm no better.
Yeah.
Einstein was part of the Freemason group. And
and he was also know who he was also really backed by. He was really backed by the Nazis. A lot of people don't know that.
Okay, well, that in itself, and I can't prove this yet because I haven't got the book from my grandfather.
Yeah.
But the Nazis were controlled by Freemasons.
Yeah.
And the Freemasons are the ones that are doing all this crap behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear how Biden was literally given his master Freemasonry right after Trump won?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's on video. Like he's
Really,
proud to become a master Mason. He's the garbage that destroyed half the United States.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he was under orders by the Freemasons, and I know that from a group of people out here.
Yeah.
They're freaking liars and thieves. I can't trust any one of them.
They control the media. That's the problem. And the
They
media
control
is doing
everything.
They control
social engineering.
Yeah.
they've had ball lightning and how to do it forever, dude. They
Yeah.
studied St. Elmo's fire in like detail for years.
Yeah.
They know exactly how to do all this.
Yeah, and why do you think Taylor Farnsworth was driven into the ground like Tesla was? Because
This
he
is
was
why-
already he was doing fusion, he was doing transmutation in the early 1900s. He was
Okay, so-
way beyond everybody else.
All this being said, and everybody knows what the Freemasons are all about. What I wonder is how the scientific community is not looking at the one person that is coming out with all these papers and information from all around the world that
Yeah.
claims that Freemasonry is basically where he got the info from.
Yeah.
But yet everybody's glorifying this person, and I don't get it. If you all know that Freemasons are nothing but lying thieves and that are trying to destroy your country, why would you support one that states they have the answer to your problems?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. That's like
I think
they're
they
giving you
want
the
to.
answer. What's
Yeah,
that?
they just want to create confusion because when you confuse, you in-depth yourself. You create. When you lose your house or whatever, you get into a deficit.
Panic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get into a deficit. It's all about money. When you get into a deficit, you pay interest. It's all the big banks that collects.
I hate money.
Big.
I don't own anything. I don't own a house, a car, a truck, nothing. I own
Yeah, that's
nothing,
awesome.
and I don't care. They can't touch me because of that. You know what I mean? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Take away my pension? I ain't got one. I'm gonna die in a ditch somewhere. Both thumbs up. I don't care. Well, what
Dude,
what
who are
do
you guys
do?
talking about?
We're talking about life, man. Just life.
Life.
Oh, somebody in life had all the answers.
We're
Man,
talking
you missed,
about
you
money
missed
and
a
stuff.
lot.
Yeah, we jumped around a little bit there.
Oh,
But
No, we're talking about how the Freemasons are the ones that are controlling all this and how Biden just became a master Mason as soon as he was done with being the president of the United States, which means he was controlled like a puppet by the Masons. And I went on to say that the scientific community is glorifying one of the largest Masons around, and this person's proud of it, talks about the Masons all the time. This guy is giving everybody information about the science that's going to save them. Meanwhile, it's the Masons that created the problem for your own country. So how does that make sense that you're glorifying a person that loves Masons, that's giving you the answer to your problems, when the Masons were the ones that created the problem?
because he's got the shiny object. That's what they're doing.
Boom. Meanwhile, that person can't control what they're talking about. And the ones that can, they were given to it by a higher power. And that is why the scientific community is doing everything they can to grab hold of what's coming out. Because they know that if it comes out the way it's meant to, God's going to be proven real and they're going to look like fucking idiots. And they don't want that.
Gotcha.
That's basically what my rant was about.
Oh,
yeah,
Sorry, Mike. I know you're trying to keep your channel cool, but just claim the crazy guy came in for a while.
I think they're worried that the genie's out of the bottle. Especially with the free energy stuff. That it's starting to get proven and
they put
starting
this
to
genie,
come out.
but they put this genie back in the bottle before, Mike. When Bedini came out and all those other guys came out, and they were literally selling items. They shut that crap down fast. And it makes me wonder why. Well, now that the scientific community is coming out with things like, I'll give you a perfect example. The thunderstorm generator, that was a Paul Pantone device. That guy got locked up. So, okay, I brought it up to Bob Grenier. Bob Grenier brought out the fact that, okay, we want to get Pantone stuff out. The only way to do it is not to talk about him. Get the patent out, get the world knowing the tech. Then we'll talk about Pantone. Okay. What about Sal Paez? Sal Paez's tech, his 5 patents, come from Otis T. Carr's design and system that worked back in the 50s.
Mhm.
And you're telling me that this guy was the guy that created? He's some genius and he knows about a super force. Are you kidding me? A super force?
Yeah, I heard about the super
Let me
force.
get
It's
my
something
cape.
that already exists.
Exactly. Like I feel like the Flash, super force. Come on, man. You know?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a c squared divided by g or something like that. It's very simple.
So what he's trying to claim is the ether and the speed of the ether being the super force. So he's trying to put a name and a patent on something that you cannot put a patent on.
Mm.
Whatever. I've tried his experiment. I didn't see any crystal growth. Maybe I got the experiment wrong. I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll see. But I just think that all these guys that are coming out with this tech that the scientific community are glorifying are people that have stolen this tech from people that have already done
Right.
it.
It's rehashed old tech.
But
with a
those
new
people
name
that
and
did it
new-
weren't,
yeah.
they weren't Freemasons. They weren't part of the government. They weren't dick suckers. So because of that, they had their shit stolen.
Yeah.
And now the people that are being promoted are getting to bring it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yep.
So I could be wrong. That's my rant. I apologize to you guys'
No,
audience.
you
I'm
don't
wrong.
have to apologize about nothing.
It's just me. It's that crazy Canuck.
I'm just gonna scoot out for a quick smoke. You guys just carry on.
Well,
Yeah.
what happens is the scientific discovery, once you believe, it happens really fast.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what they say. But if you control the information around that belief, they can squash it or they can make it their own. And that is bullshit because I'll give you for instance, the thunderstorm generator, Malcolm Bendall used to belong to the oil companies, right? Well, all the rhetoric behind him being watched and they're all over him and this, that, and the other, that's bullshit. It's total bullshit. If they wanted him dead, he'd be dead. It's nothing to do that in their eyes. With money, you get anything done. So I don't believe that story that he's now hated amongst the oil community. Because what did he do? He went right to the oil. He went to Shell in order to sell the thunderstorm generator. So now who's going to bring it out in mass? Well, it's going to be a large corporation. And who's going to benefit? The corporation.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to benefit. You'll get a recorded form of it.
I never understood this. Why wouldn't they take any new tech and just slap a label on it and still make you pay for it, no matter how it works? That's what they do. That's their job.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter if it's free and we can create it for free. They're still going to slap a label on it, set you up with a meter, and as long as they put the meter on it, they're good to go.
I don't care if they slap a label on it and sell components or sell generators, but don't put a meter on it and say, I can't fucking do it. Screw that. I'm free. I was born that way and I'm going to stay that way or I'll die that way. Whatever comes first. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is for me anyway. I don't know. I just can't. Maybe it's just who I am. Maybe it's because of the way I grew up. Maybe it's because of all the, because I said before, when I was young, I made dumb mistakes and I was in organized crime. I've seen the worst of the worst. Our own prime minister, man, I could tell you guys stories that would probably get me in trouble. Like, there's some shit that behind the scenes you guys have no idea about who it's connected to and how big it really is. I was gonna, I wrote an autobiography. It's almost done. And I was gonna release it this year. I'm not releasing it for at least another 10 years. Why?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's connected to the people that are empowering my government and they're going to freaking fry me if I put it out.
That's right.
So all that shit's still going on, man. Crazy, crazy world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
This tech getting out to the people and the people building it, not somebody else or some corporation, but you, the people out there that are watching. Build it yourself. We're going to give you plans. We're going to show you how. We're going to do detailed freaking classes on it.
Gerald, saying it in common sense, it really how do I say this? It just confuses them because it's not their language. They don't understand it.
Well, yeah, I know. I did a small. Well, I'm done my part 2 of the presentation, and it's all their language as well. And I'll tell you, if you're a physicist and you listen to the part 2 of my presentation, you'll understand exactly how it works and exactly how to build it. I'm not putting it out. I think I'm going to leave it in my archive, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to show it to the people that I'm teaching this tech to.
There you
And
go.
I'm going to show them the first presentation, the second presentation, and then I'm going to break it down in layman's terms. Like inertial mass reduction is such a very quantified thing that we all need to know. You want to know what it means? Losing weight. That's it. That's an inertial mass reduction is.
Yeah.
Wow. There's a little bit more to it than that. It loses weight through inertia. That's how it works. It's through spin. But there's so many different ways of saying it rather than the inertial mass reduction of a certain system is going to be able to create anti-gravity in the future. You know what I mean? It's physicists are awesome when they're talking to other physicists.
Yeah,
But they
I've
created-
never known that to fucking create anti-gravity.
You know what? They created their own language in order to confuse the masses, and that's all it is.
Yeah, but that's not that's
Exactly.
balance. That's not gravity.
Inertial mass reduction? No, you can lose mass through inertia. When you have a prime mover or you're able to spin, you have to be able to control the back EMF or what some would consider the
You're spinning energy flow. You're not spinning like normal weights around something. There's no motor involved.
no, you wouldn't have a motor fast enough to be able to do it. And you
That's
couldn't
what I
couldn't
mean.
capture
Okay.
yeah, you couldn't capture the back electromotive force coming off the motor in order to be able to do it.
That's what I mean. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like you have to be able to
It's
cancel
moving
out-
energy.
yeah, you have to cancel out that back force that is created by a motor spinning. And I don't know how you could physically do that.
Yeah,
You
see, I
can
was
do it in solid state.
trying to say that the motor is balanced. When you put the motor system in there, then you can get balance. But that's all it does.
Yeah,
What you're talking about is moving energy. That's just completely different.
yeah. And you can't do it through a moving motor. It has to be solid state. That's why I think Paez was using a crystal, granite crystal, or piezoelectric crystal. It could have been made out of anything, PZT, a dozen different things, doesn't matter. But I think that's what he was using in order to create inertial mass reduction. And it's the same thing that Ralph King, his story on, I think it's Ralph King. I'm pretty sure it's Ralph King.
Ring. Ralph, one of the other.
Ralph Ring, thank you. When he told the story about being an Otis T. Carr's UFO and how they traveled, how it worked, how it started, that the design came from Tesla, all of that is Sal Paez's patents, like almost to a freaking T, man. I still don't understand how nobody's put that together. So now it makes me wonder, did the United States Navy take that from Otis T. Carr, wait for the right time, bring out somebody who is in their fold and say, okay, now we're going to use your names, and this is your patent, and this is your. I had a friend in the Navy who was just in line to become the captain of a ship. And this person saw something they weren't supposed to see in paperwork and voiced it to the admiral. And they not only lost their command, they got booted out of the Navy. So you don't toe the line in the Navy, you're out. So I just kind of wonder if Sal Paez is more of a puppet than a genius. I don't know.
Interesting.
Just my thought. I could be wrong. Hey, Sal, if I'm wrong, hey, buddy, come on. All right. Pisano, talk to me.
Yeah, that's the same thing. When I presented my stuff to the U.S. Navy, they were interested and stuff like that, but they were asking me, is there a PhD that peer reviewed your paper, blah blah blah, and all that. that stuff, but I can't because I'm saying that they're wrong, so I cannot. It's hard to explain.
And you can't, and you'll never get a PhD to back you because why? Because you have to claim that Albert Einstein was wrong, and they'll never, ever, ever do that. They won't. It's impossible, man. I would fucking be impressed if a physicist with a PhD would say, "Look, Albert Einstein was wrong." I would fall out of my chair. I'm telling you. I hope it's on video. Telling you, it's crazy because they worship that man, and I don't know why. He's wrong.
Yeah, people are really brainwashed.
I can prove it. Of course, I might get shot proving it, but I can prove it. He was wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Gerald's on fire.
Yeah, well, I've been gone for a while, so hey, it's like there's so much I got to tell you guys. I can't even remember half of it. I figure I should pull my notes out, but I don't want to do a presentation. It would take too long.
Yeah, Joe and I are looking into those crystals, man, in order to form them with the exact frequency we want.
You can grow crystals in layers and form them all on your own.
Yep, I know.
I know some stuff about crystals. I taught Jeremiah Pop a little bit about crystals. Just a little bit, though. He took off on it. He did awesome with it. But
nice.
I know a lot about crystals. I was growing them. I was cutting them. I was doing a lot with them in the beginning because I was looking for John Hutchinson's crystal cell. And then I found the video where he gave the recipe and I did it. And it worked. But I didn't understand what was behind it. And it took a while to finally get it. I actually had to get into this tech in order to understand what Hutchinson did. So
Gerald found the crystal method.
What's that?
Said Gerald found the crystal method.
Oh, don't get me started on that, brother. Don't get me started on that, man. I'm telling you. I shouldn't be alive, Ben, because of that stuff.
No, I meant like the band.
Oh, okay.
The crystal method.
I was gonna get into some life-changing events from my past, but we'll leave that.
Oh, yeah, none of that one.
Hey,
that
dude,
was a big band.
I'm a miracle. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. I'm not a miracle. I'm an idiot. But there was a miracle done to me. I shouldn't be here, just from the stupidity that was me when I was younger and the stuff I did. Woo! But if you knew how much I did, you'd go no. Because I told the doctors, and the two doctors that I was with, they went, it's medically impossible. I went, no, that's exactly what I used to do. This was my regimen every day. This is how I kept up my regimen. They're like, that's physically impossible. You should be dead. And I'm like, well, I know I should be dead, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
Go figure, right? So, yeah,
well,
mysteries though, right?
Yeah, you know what?
And we thought you were just another pretty face.
Right? Just like a can of smashed assholes. No, I mean, I'm kidding. I put my face up against a dog, and guess who smiles? The dog. I'm kidding. You know, when I was a kid, the dog, he used to want to play with me. No. My dad used to tie a pork chop around my neck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm kidding. So, yeah. You know what? How long we've been going? An hour and a half, eh? How long you guys go every Friday?
Usually 2 hours.
Out of the loop for so long.
Usually 2 hours, yeah.
2 hours, damn. So who else has got anything new going on here? What happened to that Sorry, Mike. What happened to that presentation, Phil, when you went and talked to the Navy? Were they nice about it, or did it turn into anything? Or
yeah, Lulu was there. She saw they were interested. They were asking me a lot of questions, and I gave them my card and things like that. And I told them I'm gonna publish something soon. And but they don't come back to me. I don't know why. I'm afraid they get inspired by what I'm doing, and I'm afraid they plagiarize what I'm doing. Maybe maybe they can plagiarize part of it, but not all of it. Like the force field, it's impossible. They know how to do it without having the maths, so they
They
cannot
know,
plagiarize.
they know how to do it on small scale
NASA
or in
stole,
beam directive. Like they can't do a full force field. Go ahead.
NASA already stole his the electrolysis, the hydrogen engine idea.
That
They
doesn't
The
surprise
high
me at all.
temperature.
like
Doesn't surprise me at all.
we were there. We talked,
Sucks.
and he was explaining it to them, and then not even a month later, they're announcing that they built this thing, and I'm just like looking like take the idea from that conference and build it because you guys have like millions of dollars and you could do it right away. It's just
So it
That's
happens.
like Curtis Horn asked to do the math on my coil system when I was getting ready to do the first presentation. I was like, nope. Never a straight answer. No, thank you.
Yeah.
What, like NASA was put together right around World War II, weren't they? Weren't they put together the same time that
Well,
the,
Edward
all
von
the
Braun.
Nazis came over?
Yeah, Edward von Braun.
Yeah, so I don't know. I could never trust NASA. I just couldn't. I don't care if they're at the top of the ladder or the food chain when it comes to space. They go pound
The
sand
Nat-
as far as I'm concerned.
The former Nazis were involved in all that high tech aerospace stuff. After Project Paperclip, all the best engineers from Germany. The Russians got a good portion of them, and the Americans got a good portion of them. And that's the result is what you see today with all the
That's
the
crazy,
Nazi tech, right?
See, and if you look at the word Nazi and you look at NASA, it's really not that far off.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, right? That's crazy stuff.
But it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about what it is. That's
But,
bad.
Yeah, that sucks for you, Phil. Can't
Yeah,
trust.
but I also submitted to Missile Defense Agency the all the mathematics for the force field, but under a confidentiality agreement.
But
So
that doesn't mean anything to them. They don't give a shit,
yeah, probably.
right?
And even if they even if they wanted to, what the hell a little broke Canadian and is gonna do against U.S. government department?
Right. And they know that. That's why they love people coming down. Show us what you got. Why don't you
Yeah.
work with us for a while?
yeah,
Oh, sorry,
let's-
we don't need you anymore.
Yeah, let's
And they
steal.
have all these patents. Just like Sal Paez, right? Same shit, different pile. Just a bunch of liars. It sucks because you want them to be the best of the best, like we were told. You want them
Yeah.
to be the most moral and integral people, but instead they do the absolute opposite every time. And
Oh, yeah.
you want them to prove you wrong, right? But nope. I can't do it. NASA, never a straight answer, man.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the United States Navy has not proven much better in its recent years. So
Phil, I mean, we could bug them every day, give them a call, say, okay, what's going on? Did you guys already have the meeting? Like, we could, irritate them to the point where they say, okay, fine. Yeah, just come on in. I mean, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
avoid them. Yeah, I can ask the. You remember Sarah of Sarah, the HR girl that we said hi quickly at the office. She knows me very well, and I can talk to another one that can talk because I tried to connect to. His name is Jim something. I'm not gonna say his name publicly, but I found him. The short guy that went to talk to me
Hmm?
when I had my poster. I found him on LinkedIn, but I sent him a connection request, but he didn't respond yet, so I cannot talk to him through LinkedIn. But I can ask Sarah or Denise from the organization to go talk to talk to them indirectly, So I can put pressure this way because That's the only thing I can do. But
You know,
I'll put pressure for you, Phil. I'll fly by and give him the bird.
yeah, like the famous finger from Nathan.
Hey, you know, it's a Canadian thing.
No,
Or
but
I'll give him the old left-handed, you know. They like
show
that.
them, show Gerald your picture, Nathan.
Oh, I don't have it up right now, or else I would. I don't know.
That would be funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, it's Phil flipping people off looking at the internet. It's hilarious. Hey, Gerald, did you see my coil start plasmaing out when they just had nothing attached to them?
Yeah, that was your secondary and your second Tesla coil without the primary, right?
Yeah, but no primary.
Yeah, had the little on the top. Yeah, that's cool how that works, right?
I got it to blast and swirl.
That part I didn't see. That's cool. So you had breakout and it was pulling itself in, or was it pushing out?
Both sides. It was like a bipolar with a null zone in the middle, and they were counter rotating.
I'll have to check that out. Interesting indeed.
But
Yeah.
you know, the only thing that I can gain it. Suppose they all plagiarize what I did, but I can still apply for a green card easily because I've been to this conference 3 times. So it's gonna. I can apply for EB 1A or 1B green card easily. So I might not make money, but I can do that at least.
He
Nice.
knows a guy who knows a guy.
You gonna get a job with them maybe or something like that? Is that the idea? Or just a project?
No, but a job, you need to be U.S. citizen to work for the defense industry. So if I
Right.
wanted to be a U.S. citizen, I need to be on a green card for 10 years or so, 5 years or 10 years, I don't know. And then
Just
I
wait
can
a couple
apply.
years. Canada will be the 51st state. We won't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But Justine Trudeau.
Right?
Justina
Trudeau. What do you mean?
Christina Freeland or whatever.
Oh man, don't get me started with those scumbags. Especially Justin Trudeau, that murdering piece of work. Oh, I can tell you guys a story right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's driving me nuts. I'm telling you.
His father made us dependent. He spent so much that we owe the big banks. We cannot even pay interest on the deficit that
My
we
dad
owe.
hated his father. Like
Yeah.
our families knew each other. My dad
Like,
hated that guy. Like, man, like no tomorrow. Did you guys watch that sex trafficked worker that came out? She wrote a book and she talked about Trudeau's dad, and it's legit, or they would have took her to court. Like,
Oh yeah.
she talked about how Trudeau raped her
Oh yeah.
and
Wow.
when she was a little girl, and he
Oh,
wasn't
wow.
happy because he didn't get to kill her. It's like she talks about it on Patrick Beta David PBD, and
Oh,
he's
yeah?
got like 1 million followers or something. It's a big deal. So if Justina's dad was a pedo and his mom was a whore, why do we listen to this guy? I'm just saying, you know, like.
wow.
Sorry, Mike. Yes, I said it, Gerald. Just me, right here.
But that's the problem, you know. The problem with the most corrupted people, they have the biggest mouth, you know. They can't
They like to show off.
they keep yawning and showing off, and
Yeah.
unfortunately they are charismatic at the same time, and that's why, because they speak a lot.
Well, that's
And-
why they're chosen to be the puppets in the front, right? They're not the ones
Yeah.
running the show. It's the rich
Yeah.
elite behind the scenes running the show.
Exactly.
I could give you names of the families actually in Canada that run the show. Like Trudeau's a puppet, right?
Yeah.
They all are. I'm not sure about Pierre Poilievre and his crew, but if Trudeau and them are as much of a puppet as I am, I understand. I can't see Pierre and those guys being any different. They're all in the same boat together behind the scenes. shaking hands and winking eyes, right? That's how they do their stuff. So,
It's-
I don't
Dude,
know.
it's funny here in the U.S. We got Trump over here just tearing through people,
Love that
firing
guy.
them. Dude,
I hate
it's
that guy, but I
insane.
love that guy.
Yeah, it's absolutely hilarious. The first time I've ever seen a politician stick up for their word and do everything, and this time he's just getting rid of them fast. It's like every day.
Hey, I think he's a dick, and I got mad respect for him. You know what I mean? Because he did what he said he was going to do, and he's fixing the United States. And I won't lie to you, if the States falls, all of North America falls, man.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So what Biden and his goof crew did, they should be locked up for treason. Them and their whole family for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, but that's why he preemptively pardoned his whole family.
Of course.
And Dr. Fauci and all this garbage. George Soros as well.
George Soros, that garbage piece of work, man, I'm telling you. That guy shouldn't even have been allowed in North America. That guy shouldn't even have been allowed. He was a Nazi, for Pete's sakes. I'll say that. There you go. You want my name? It's Gerald. I said it. There you go. His grandfather, his dad was a reporter for some Nazi paper. And he literally, George Soros, was proud of putting Jews on the trains. He even said it.
I know.
And then he said, oh, well,
Jews.
we had to do, or I would have been killed. Take the fucking bullet. Be honorable and have some integrity. No, you got to be a fucking weasel and put people to death for something they didn't do.
Yeah.
George Soros is a piece of shit.
I know.
Sorry, Mike. I'm on a rant tonight. Maybe I shouldn't be. Your channel's gonna get dinged for me.
Mike, we're identifying the pieces of shit around the country.
Freaking right. Get me a shovel. I'm just kidding.
The dumpster.
Now we're just talking about the rich elite that do nothing but, screw the people because they're rich and they're bored. Why else, right? Why else would you want to do the stuff they do?
Yeah.
Control?
How about that guy Larry Fink from BlackRock?
What a Fink, eh?
What a Fink.
Yeah. BlackRock, though, have you heard? Like, have you done any research into BlackRock?
BlackRock, they own the whole defense, and they own Lockheed Martin.
You're right, but who owns BlackRock? The banks.
Yep.
Yeah.
You would be surprised who owns BlackRock. They own everything, man. Everything. The amount of land that's actually owned by people, I was blown away when I seen the charts. Just blown away. Like, we fell asleep and they bought everything. And now it's like you can't even own anything because they own it all. How do you get that back? You know what I mean? How do you stop that from occurring so that generations that are coming have a chance to actually live life without being controlled?
What's happened with the forest, all the fires in California? Guess who's at the doorstep of all those people that lost all their homes? BlackRock.
Did you follow the path of the fires?
Yep.
It's the same path as that new rapid transit that's going through.
Yep.
Why? Because they're building a 15-minute city right where that is.
Exactly.
They wanted those fires. Those fires were paid by certain individuals to light. And I heard that up here in Canada. I'm telling you, man, there's so much dastardly stuff going on.
Just like in Hawaii a while ago, they had a big fire over there. Apparently, they I'm not sure, but I heard that they had lasers from satellites igniting.
Yeah, I've heard that story too. It's possible. Definitely possible, man. Absolutely. You could start a fire with a laser from space. Absolutely. You just need the right laser.
Yeah.
And if it was a blue laser and you had blue roof, it wouldn't affect the laser wouldn't affect the roof at all. The fire might from other surrounding buildings, but it's interesting how lasers work.
Well, it's funny because terrorists didn't need a plane when they came to California. They needed Justin Trudeau, not Justin Trudeau. You know what I mean? They needed Gavin Newsom. Sorry, there's not much difference. And they needed a single map. That's all they fucking needed.
Yeah,
That was it. They were armed with a match, and we got fucked.
you didn't need a terrorist. You just needed to put Biden in power,
Oh, that's right. Couldn't get the goddamn water flowing.
right? Same thing with Trudeau. We didn't need a terrorist. Just had to put Trudeau in power. He stole the election the second time around. I believe he stole the election the first time around. I don't think he got elected at all, just because of what he said to me when I was 12 years old. And I'll state this for a fact. He stood in front of me, looked me square in the freaking eye, and he said, "I'm going to make you useless eaters pay." And I looked at him and said, "What are you talking about, useless eater?" He's like, "If you don't make $1 million a year, you're useless." And I'm like, "Who the are you?" And we were going to get into it hand to hand. And he stood behind two girls, my cousins, because he didn't want to fight. He was a pussy then, he's a pussy now.
Oh,
Right? That's Trudeau. And he was at my family reunion because unfortunately my family and his family know each other. That's why. Oh, and the reason why he said that, and the reason why we got into the argument is because he said that he was going to be prime minister of the country one day, and he was going to make all us useless eaters pay. That's when I got into the argument with him and said, "You're not going to be prime minister. Nobody put a weasel like you in power." And we got into it, right? And then that's when he stood behind my cousins.
well,
So he said that to me when I was 12 years old. And he was prime minister for 8 years, still is. You think it's not a setup? He was voted in, but yet he knew at 12, he had enough conscious mind at 12 years old to get into an argument with me over something he may or may not do. But then he did? Sounds to me like he was selected, not elected.
Yeah.
yeah. So the Dominion machines in Canada, they might highly likely might have been hacked or something like that. But we haven't done anything against it. You know, nobody fought against the Dominion voting system.
It's because we're asleep. We don't even look at those things. We just assume that our government's doing the right thing, right?
I know.
Meanwhile, they're behind the scenes playing with the little dials. They're as corrupt as $3 bills, man.
Yeah.
See, like it's crazy. I'm speaking from experience, not conspiracy, just so that you guys are aware. I would put my hand to a Bible in any court of law and testify to what I just said, just so that everybody's aware of it.
Wow.
Not a conspiracy. Lived it. I lived so many crazy things, man. What's that?
I don't know what's up with that conspiracy accusation that the left has been doing for the last 10 years for anybody that objects or try to use his head to say the truth, that you're being accused of being a conspiracy theorist. That's the example of social engineering for so long.
That's
when you
exactly
hear that,
what it is.
you can make a lie true if you repeat it often enough,
All conspiracy theorists are people that have premonitions about stuff that are going to happen 6 months prior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now
It's a conspiracy today. Wait 6 months. Yeah, it'll be proven true. It's just.
Yeah, okay, if the left want to accuse us of being conspiracy theorists, okay, let's bring it on. What about Christopher Columbus, who didn't agree about religion and said that the earth must be round and blah, blah, blah. I guess he was a conspiracy theorist too. Same thing with Galileo. Galileo that disagrees with the church. That's and things like that.
And he was a conspiracy theorist too, yeah.
Yeah, he was house arrested and things like that.
You could even go further than that. If you wanted to get really crazy, you could say Jesus Christ was a conspiracy theorist.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So this conspiracy theorist crap to burn right out the freaking door because I don't believe it. Okay, that's
Nathan's like,
me.
oh my god.
No, we're in some deep shit now. Good thing I got my wading boots on, man.
Now I know why I'm drinking right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's just me. I'm one of those crass individuals that's got a jump in with both feet and slam those feet down. That's just me. Right?
Oh man.
Yeah, it's just been, I've noticed you guys just have not had a lot of fun. And I've had to come back and, light the fire.
That's right.
Stir the shit bowl.
That's right. Piss in that freaking beehive and watch it fly.
What, Gerald? I tried to show him my 0 point, but YouTube wouldn't let me. They kept censoring it. I spread them and everything for him.
I don't want to know about your
I saw
0
them
point.
titty.
Nobody knows where it's been. That's hilarious. Yeah, YouTube's just a cup of jello.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I got lots to say, hey? So, sorry for the rant, Mike. Didn't mean to go off on your show.
Oh, you know what? We have a tendency to go off the rails on this show.
oh! You should have
went-
heard him. We're gonna transfer the space station into a 7-Eleven gas station.
That's right. That's right. And we're all the employees. We're gonna put Gerald in a rubber room.
Woohoo!
Anybody who acts out has to spend 24 hours in that room with you.
Oh. That was fun.
Oh, so funny.
And we're
You
gonna
think I'm
give
crazy now?
Gerald.
You should see me on a Tuesday.
And we're gonna give Gerald an energy drink.
No, that's a bad
We'll get y'all-
idea.
We'll
That's
get
a
you all
bad
jacked
idea.
up on the Red Bull or something.
Give him Red Bull and burritos. Got some fire farts
Red Bull
going on.
burritos, yeah,
Right? Yeah, that's a bad idea.
in 0G. Yeah,
Oh, so that's how he's gonna get around.
Oh, it's gonna fart in your space helmet.
that's right.
Oh,
See, I move faster than light because of all the darn food I eat. That's what it is.
oh man.
I'm gas propelled.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, and anybody who wants to dock at the space station with us, it's a 25% tariff.
That's right.
If you come from the States, it's 50.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, New Lulu and Nathan and Ben. Well, there's exemptions, okay? There's exemptions. We're just as corrupt as the government, okay? We'll make exemptions.
Yeah, like
Well,
politicians.
we're evened out tonight. We got 3 Americans and 3 Canadians. So
There
we're
you go. It's a 50-50 show.
Yeah, but
It's not American.
Can we
I-
for a like a country for that space station? I mean, it's a
Yeah.
country on its
be our
Can I
own
switch my
country.
category to
Call it
Canadian?
Can America.
Can America. Can America.
American.
No,
What
it's
American.
gotta be Can America. Yeah,
There you go.
Can America.
Yeah, we're gonna take over the space station. That's our
I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
in.
What's cracking what's up with the Canada arm?
The Canadian arm? I don't know. Does it
Yeah,
even
the
Well,
space
they-
station.
actually it's funny you mentioned that. They're actually they made the Canada Arm 2 in my hometown.
really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I knew the designer Canada Arm 1.
what
Yeah,
what
the-
is
that-
that?
Yeah, that guy was part of back then it was called Spar Aerospace.
Yeah.
And I used to years ago, I was a young kid at the time. It was probably like 18 or something. I had a summer job and I was doing like cleaning and stuff like that. And it was a division of Spar Aerospace. So I actually was around that room where they actually built the Canadarm. So
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you probably knew the guy who was designing. I can't remember his darn name. He was my uncle-in-law, if that's what you want to call him.
Oh God, we're going back
Through marriage sort of thing, right?
going
my
back
mother's side.
30 years ago now.
Man, your family
Yeah.
connected to everybody, Gerald.
Unfortunately, yeah, I was one of those. I've had a weird life, man. I've known so many people behind the scenes, like Melanie Jolie. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
she's like finance minister or something.
Yeah,
She
liberal.
in grade 5, I got into a fight because of her with a guy named Jason. I'll never forget it because he thought he was some kung fu artist. And I hit him so hard, so fast, he hit the ground. And the only reason why he did is because he slapped Melanie Jolie in the face in grade 5 in front of everybody because they broke up. Well, I don't believe in men hitting women at all. I don't care if you're 6'5" and built like freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're getting a shot in the face. I don't care if I take a beating. You're getting a shot in the face. So I dealt with it. I was just a kid. I was dumb, right? But I knew Melanie Jolie before, like, she was even a thought of being a politician. Just
She's
like,
from your hometown?
well, just like Trudeau's wife. I was getting together with Sophie before Trudeau even met her. And Sophie's grandmother, or her aunt, because she was living with her grandmother, and then her grandmother moved in with her aunt, blah, blah, blah. Her aunt warned me and literally told me, stay away from my stepdaughter, niece, or whatever it was she told me at the time, because otherwise I'll have you kicked out of school. And I didn't believe she could till I found out later that the Gregoires are on the board. So I've been involved with so many people behind the scenes and not realized who these people were until I was older. It's just insane.
Is your family connected? Is your family connected with Wayne Gretzky?
No, never met Gretzky. Don't know him. Knew the Trudeaus. Knew the what was the other one there? My dad went to dinner with my grandfather.
Gerald, the way you make it sound, it's like some inbred little fucking place that you came from. Like everybody's related to everybody.
It is.
They all have the same DNA.
No, but I'll tell you this: in
Canada was big.
Where I live, all these people that are politicians, half of them come from where I live. Look it up. It's out there. It's not a conspiracy. They'll tell you where they grew up. Half of them grew up in the same towns I grew up in. It just happened that I was there. You know what I mean?
What do they teach in the schools over there? How to become a politician?
Yeah, they teach you how to fall in line. That's why I never got along in schools. I never like school was easy for me. I got straight A's, but I was always the bad behavior kid. You know what I mean? I was always getting suspended for fighting, or because I stood up for people. I hated bullies. I used to pick on them. They would be picking on kids, and I'd go and beat up the bully, and then I'd get thrown out of school for fighting. That happened to me all the time, and I moved schools so often. I went to 17 different schools before I got to grade 11.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's how come I knew so many people. It's just the way it was.
Yeah, my cousins went to high school with the Ford brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Rob and Doug. Yeah. They were the biggest drug addicts in the school.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't doubt it at all.
Rob Ford. I have a friend of mine. Sorry.
Yeah, Rob Ford was a big drug trafficker back in the high school days.
There was a brain surgeon in our city that I know used to buy cocaine on a regular basis. So drug addicts abound, man. It doesn't matter what you do. They're everywhere. Right?
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, man. Crazy. This world's crazy. People think it's all, butterflies and rainbows.
I got invited one of those, like, they were judges that were running for positions. And, like, I went, they had a party at my neighbor's. And these guys hit it really, and these are the guys that put people away for this. I was just my mind couldn't grasp it. Aren't you guys supposed to be the good people? But no.
My dad, when he was alive, he had a cousin who was a police officer, right? I won't tell you what type. Well, of course, I don't give a shit. RCMP, and he went to one of the parties where they were. And he said he never seen so much drugs and corruption before in his life till he went to a party with RCMP officers. So go figure, man. Like, hey, they were off duty, right? So do what you want. But just saying, the world's not as pretty as everybody thinks. We all make mistakes,
A friend of mine used to work for General Dynamics. He's from Manitoba, and he said it was pretty violent. He's a kung fu. He's a kung fu master now, but he trained all his life. He's training every day, but he said that. And he said, "Well, where I'm from, I mean." Gatineau, Ottawa was actually even worse back in the 90s. It was the crime capital of Canada back in the 90s because it's right on the edge of Quebec and Ontario. And
so lots of cross-border. Yeah.
Yeah, and the bars would close at 1 in Ottawa, and then they were closing at 3 in Quebec. And
that's always a problem.
You mix alcohol with that, and it's a recipe for catastrophe,
Yeah, and where I grew up, same thing. Manitoba, there was nothing to do, man. It's prairies. You could watch your dog run away for 3 days, right? So all you do is get drunk and fight. That's all everybody would do, right? So that's why it was a violent city. Yeah. What do you do?
So,
you learn how to fight. That's what you do.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
And I was fighting with my brother, but when I started martial art, my brother was stop nagging me,
Yeah, because you started martial arts. I had to start martial arts just to live, just to survive, man. I'm telling you, the town was crazy. Like the first fight I ever got into, I was like 8 years old. Well, I got beatings when I was 7 because I was white. That was crazy. That's why I'm not prejudiced, man. Literally, I got beat because I was white for like a whole year and a half at school because I was in a native town, right? What's that?
Are you serious?
Yeah, totally, 100%. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, I got that shit kicked out of me every day, man. And it was only because I was white. They used to actually make it a thing that I knew that, right? And then when we moved out of that town, it stopped. And I trained, went back to that town to visit my mother, and I never had a problem again.
I have a question.
That's the way it was. Yeah.
What am I looking at here?
Wardenclyffe Tower.
Wardenclyffe Tower.
Okay. All right. That's what I needed to know. All right. That's it. I printed something. It's called the E transcripts.
Nice.
Cool. It's like has symbolism, like Fibonacci codes, just all of the weird things that but I didn't know what this one was, and it was a Nikola Tesla thing, but I didn't know.
I have a thing that Joel sent me about the wire underneath that tower. That's cool, man. From the energy company.
Yeah, I found out something about what Tesla was doing in that tower and how to increase power, and something about the ground that I'm gonna have to teach you guys.
Look at this. Look at this part.
Thing.
You see this part? It's in the ground. It's showing that there's a current.
Yeah, of course it is. It's in the water table.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But that's not how he increased the power. That's just how he transferred the power.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a way of increasing the power exponentially.
Well, you have to hit the right frequency.
There's more to it than that. There's a part missing. I can't wait to tell you that one. I'm going to let your brain just cackle on it.
I'll find it.
Yeah, I know you will. That's why I brought it up. There's a little secret out there. You got to do some digging, Nathan. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dig. I'll just have to test.
Don't go Jimmy Swaggart on us.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy Swaggart. We don't want to do that. It's me, dearly party policy. When it comes to women, you can't live with them, and marriage is illegal. I just love saying that, right? That's just shout out
be on the space station. Tell them thank you. Come again.
Thank you. Come again.
So
Naked and go.
You guys heard what they said was that, oh, these drones were dispatched by the government, but I think cover up for us not to, like, I think there were real orbs or real things in the sky, and the government just deployed their own as a cover up, so the population doesn't ask questions.
China's had orbs for over 12 years now, maybe a little less. They've been perfecting this tech for a long time. And I'm not saying that it's China's orbs that are out there. There are drones that are actually doing what people are seeing, but there are also people that have witnessed these balls of light and are getting sick because of them. Now, if you're feeling sick in some way, shape, or form around what they are seeing as a ball of light, that is ball lightning, because the frequency that comes off of it will resonate with the human body because it's plasma. So whatever frequency it's giving off, if those people are around it and getting sick, that's definitely ball lightning. Who's controlling it? No idea.
So hold on. Can't you make it with microwaves?
You can make it with two lasers that are inverted and hitting one specific spot, and then you literally direct those two lasers.
That's the weak form.
But it still works as a chaff for like as if there was a heat-seeking missile coming after you. They can use that as chaff, right? So the heat seeker would go after that ball of laser light. But does it do anything to hurt anyone? I can't say. They can communicate with ATO lasers. So can two lasers that are cross beaming affect the frequency of a human being? I don't know. I'm not there yet. Not that I want to be, but I don't know.
I think the answer is in the microwaves. When they cross. You ever watch that Skinwalker Ranch?
Yeah. You know about Black Frog Ranch?
Let me describe this for you. So they have a magnetic signature on there on the top, right? Mm-hmm. They're getting a steady frequency the whole time when they're there. They're seeing beaming microwaves show up coming out of the cracks. Then they're seeing EVOs. They're seeing ball lightning in the air. And they say it's a UFO. It's not. It's ball lightning. So if they did it with microwaves and a focused microwave beam, it would be invisible to us. And it would only show up under certain lighting conditions. And because it would have heat in it, it would show up there. And if they cross those beams, you're going to get energy that would show up on a ball.
Sounds to me like you just described a working underground pyramid.
Yeah, possibly.
No, but about the orbs and things like that, they said that the FAA was doing testing. That's the official statement. But testing on what? They testing on
people,
from observing us.
Has to be people.
People.
Because you know what? They could observe with any regular drone. They could observe with satellite. So what do you need this new drone out for? This ball of lightning to observe? Yeah. Well, that's highly unlikely. So maybe to affect the people around it, just to see if that's actually what it does. Perhaps.
By the way, you get hit with a directed microwave beam, and it'll boil your blood, and it'll leave you without anything in your body.
You get hit with a full-blown ball of lightning, and it'll eviscerate you to ash, just as if you opened the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, but they're not being ash. Their cattle are all out of blood.
Yeah, that's wild, eh? You heard that story too. That's insane. Microwaves could definitely explain that. Yeah. But then if they were microwaved and their blood was gone, their meat would be cooked too, right?
No, there's not much meat on certain parts of them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But then their hide might be all right. And that's what we're seeing.
That would be directed beam energy then. If their hide's fine and their blood's boiled, that's directed. It would have to be, right? Otherwise.
100%.
Oh, unless it's resonating at a certain frequency that's affecting the water molecule within the plasma of the blood, and that's why it's boiling off. That'd be like a hydrogen burst. That's interesting. That's I never considered that before. But
They always say it's a gold top that goes on the pyramid. What if it wasn't? What if it was just simply magnetic?
what if it was different elements? Like they had a silver one and a gold one and an iridium one
For different things that are going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Well,
Different
maybe.
effects.
Just saying, it's a possibility. You know, my pyramid's almost done.
Nice.
I've had to take a break because I'm doing so many things, right? But when I do a presentation Wednesday or whatever, I'll come out with everything I've been working on in the last month and a half. It's like quite a big update. So
Yeah.
Nice.
How big is the pyramid?
right now it's almost 2.5, 3 feet tall, give or take.
Nice.
It's
Cool.
made with fake stone.
Yeah.
Well, geopolymer.
Yeah.
Fake, right? At least that's what they call it. If when we say that the pyramids are made out of geopolymer stones, nobody believes it because that's a fake stone, right? They only want cut granite to perfection. And I don't think so. I think it was geopolymer. Like certain sections were built on top of a base that was already there. I don't know, just theory. Could be wrong.
Interesting.
I've been wrong before,
Yeah.
and I'll probably be wrong again, but at least I'll admit it. And then I'll, so,
Pyramids, for sure, they were built on something more ancient. You know, it's not like hypothetical. They actually did find evidence of some like older things than, you know, whatever is the outside of the stones. They're
there was a theory in 2012, somewhere around there, rolling around YouTube about how the pyramids were built over entrances to the enter the center of the earth. That's
Possible.
the theory. There is supposedly
I think
an
they're on
underground
main
city
lines.
under Giza.
I think
There should be lava tubes under there then.
Yeah. And that could be how they built the city, is in giant lava tubes.
You're not getting down below that layer at 25 miles without it. You're not going through that. You're just not. It's an energy layer.
That's if we believe what we're told about Earth and how it's liquid lava.
It's not.
All lava down there and only lava.
It's not.
No.
No, I think it's pockets.
Admiral E. Byrd, the pilot.
Yeah, I studied his stuff, at least as much as I get my hands on.
He clearly states that there is an inner world, the Earth hollow, and you know, he has visited that place, or they actually captured his plane. And
I'm gonna throw a theory out for you, Lulu, because you actually reminded me of something that I haven't really talked about in a while. When it come to Byrd entering into Algartha, and when it came to the Bermuda Triangle, both times when Byrd disappeared, he was running a dual prop plane. When the planes disappeared over the Bermuda Triangle, most of them were running dual prop planes. What does that have to do with it? They were spinning at a certain resonance and creating almost like a Doppler sound, right? So because those twin prop planes were at a certain resonance at a certain height, they literally flew through the doorway without even seeing it opened because they were at that resonance in both different places. But it was because of their planes. You notice you don't hear any of those stories with jets. None of them at all. And all we have now is what? Single prop Cessnas that usually disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And that's usually at the point of a storm, not just flying into a point where they disappear. So it's interesting to think that if resonance opens the door and Byrd actually got to Algartha, was it because of his plane? And that's why they can't find the entrance now, or supposedly now?
Yeah.
Right? Just a thought.
Hey, real quick, I shared in the chat, in the private chat, Mr. Mythos if you guys have ever watched him, awesome storyteller when it comes to Agartha and stuff like that.
Check him
It's
out.
something to listen to in the background when you're over there doing all your projects.
Nice. I need more of that.
Yeah, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight. We did a little overtime, but again, awesome show. Yeah, we go live again next Friday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. Nathan goes live tomorrow at 10 Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern.
Yep.
With Joel. And
Get the crazy Canuck out there! I had to. I just had to.
Are you going to be there, Gerald? You said you're going to stir it up?
I'll try and pop in, yeah.
Okay.
See
You
if
going
I
to be there Wednesday? You said you had something to present.
Yeah, I'm not going to present it tomorrow. I got a whole bunch of stuff to present.
No, I meant Wednesday. You said no?
Yeah, like Wednesday, I'll try and do a presentation on all the stuff that I talked about, but I haven't been able to show just because I haven't been around, right? So.
Then next Friday, I'll be on the train, so I'm just going to watch. I don't think I'll be able to talk,
Right.
but
I'll just
yeah.
Well, comment in the comment section. Don't worry, we'll make sure to make fun of you. I'm just kidding, Phil. I'm just kidding, man. You're great. I'm bugging you, buddy.
I hope you don't get arrested out there, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna see you on the news with your wine and hanging out.
Get it on film. We want proof.
You'll show up on the Jumbotron at the game.
That's right.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Get your friends to record you stumbling and falling down.
All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in. We'll see everybody next week.
All right.
All right.
Cheers.
Take care.
See
Cheers.
you, everybody.